You already know what time it is, baby. You know what time it is. This is the deadline to today is the 7th Tuesday. So I gotta go ahead and wrap this up. This is the main event. This is what you guys all been waiting for. The debate on Yu Hakusho versus Rurouni Kenshin. Now I am a Yu Hakusho representative. I am a Yu Hakusho enthusiast, so I promise that I will give good factual evidence on why it's better than Rurouni Kenshin. But first and foremost, let me say that these two series equate to greatness. We highly recommend that you watch both series tonight. This is what this debate is all about. We want to exercise promotion on these quintessential anime and manga so that you guys can check them out for yourselves, because you don't get good quality like the shit that we have to show you. The next debate will be on Samurai Champloo versus Cowboy Bebop. I'm representing Cowboy Bebop, so I'll also be in that debate. But I'm going to talk about Yu Hakusho versus Rurouni Kenshin. I'm going to judge the characters, the action, and the story, and also the character development in the OSTs. I'll try to get all 5 of those elements. I will try to nip those in the bud. This debate is going to be a little off the cuff, so I hope that you bear with me, and I hope you enjoy. Now, first and foremost, I want to talk about Rurouni Kenshin. Now, Rurouni Kenshin, this anime, it had me intrigued just a little bit based off the promos that I was seeing on Toonami. I thought it was interesting because the character that they were portraying on the commercial, he seemed like a really dark character, like Batosai the Manslayer. That name, it has a powerful sound to it. Batosai the Manslayer, for real? He has it has like a good ring to it. I like that. I like that. And judging on the manga and what I've read, it seems like he's a monumental character, because that character was around up in the Bakumatsu period, which was a time of war. It was like a bloodbath. The Bakumatsu was like this real political kind of war. And Kenshin, he's considered a patriot up in this war because like a patriot, they fight for honor, they fight for the just. And they sacrificed their lives, they killed millions to save billions, basically. And that's what he was. He was a mental individual during that time period. That's what I was interested in. I was thinking that I was going to see more of that character up in Rurouni Kenshin, but to my surprise, I get this weakling ass guy wearing a hot pink kimono. Yeah, I'm going to be dissing the series, even though I recommend that you watch it. I am going to be dissing the series a lot. Uber Hikari, I know he's gonna be killing himself at this, but why the fuck are you gonna give me this dick in the booty samurai with a pink kimono who doesn't like to kill shit? I never really understood the concept of the character. He has a reverse blade, and he doesn't cut down anybody. Now, mind you, this was at the time that I was young. Now, I think I could have been anything with like 14 or 15 when I first saw Rurouni Kenshin. And it was around the time of the Toonami era when anime was more on the ground, so I wasn't used to different subgenres at that time. I had my preferences, which is more action, adventure, supernatural, those combinations, But I got introduced to Rurouni Kenshin, which was basically just like a fucking action. I had to put this before I say action. It was a romance. That's basically all it was. It was a romance / action anime. You know what I'm saying? It just really didn't appeal to me. I don't think most of the people who know about this shit, who know about Rurouni Kenshin, most of the people who've seen it on Toonami, I don't really think it appealed to them either, because at the time you had so many other great shows that were coming on that had that action. It just had that formula of entertainment, but Rurouni Kenshin does it. And another thing that I want to add about Rurouni Kenshin, which hurts it a lot, which really hurts it, it cripples the series a lot. Rurouni Kenshin already seems like a fully developed character to me. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't seem like he's gonna have that much character growth because he's already maintained and established that he's not a killer. He doesn't have killer intent within him. That sword that he uses, he says that it's used to strike down the evil and to cut down I think instruments of evil, which are like bullets or any like missiles or anything like that. Like he uses the edge of the sword, which is the bottom of the sword, which is like a part that you would see at the top of the sword. Mixing my words up. to strike down people, and he uses the top of the sword, which has the sharp edge blade to cut down bullets. And at the time, I thought that was a lame concept, but I had to, mature to understand why he does that, why he is, how he is. That character, it just seems like he's already developed, and it seems like he has some kind of like twist or something like that within his psyche. Like his psyche is kind of conflicting because he's struggling to be this new character. He's struggling to maintain this new ideology, which is to bring about peace. I won't use my sword as an instrument of destruction, but as an instrument to lure in the age of paradise. I will inflict pain on my enemies, but I will not kill them to bring about paradise. That's one of the interesting things about Rurouni Kenshin. It's a character that's been through so much. He's gone through like he's like a fucking metamorphosis. Like he's up in a cocoon, like becoming a butterfly. He used to be this killer named Batosai the Manslayer, which I was interested in the most, the Hitokiri, but he's a Rurouni. Now, Rurounis, they are not the most interesting or entertaining characters to watch unless they have like numerous amounts of threats, because Rurounis, they don't go about looking for trouble. A Rurouni is a samurai who doesn't have a destination. He doesn't have a home. Wherever he lays his sword is basically his home. So that character itself kind of seemed a little boring and dull. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was something new that I've never seen before, like just watching a character like just do that, not like wanting to go about swinging his sword recklessly. It was still kind of boring. And the anime differentiates itself from the manga so much. I have to say that now, like if I knew about the manga around that time, I would have stayed into the series. Like when I was younger, we only had anime to watch, and that's what I was used to. I was accustomed to anime. But after reading the manga, I can say that my judgment has changed about the series somewhat. The manga, so dark, so gritty, you know what I mean? There's a shade of gray in every chapter. I swear to God, like you can feel the darkness, like you can feel it. Especially when Kenshin gets down to whooping ass, you can kind of see the Hitokiri up in him for a split second. Whenever he's pissed off or whenever he's just like waging battle with any enemy, you can see it because the way, what's his name? Toshihiro, I don't know. Like I think his name is there. I think his last name is Toshihiro. The way he has Rurouni drawn, like he has him where like whenever he gets in a battle, his eyes turn white, like they just have this blank stare up, and like you can sense the Batosai. But in the anime, you only get this weak dick in the booty character, Rurouni Kenshin. You only see him. You really don't see the evil, malicious intent, like a person that's ready to like just spread blood. Like a person that's ready to just go on the attack. You still see this soft ass samurai. You still see Kenshin, and that kind of leads me to question if he really even killed anybody up in the past or not. You just don't see how people could fear this character. How could he be such a monumental character up in a period of war? Rurouni Kenshin, it's up in the Meiji period, and that's another boring, dull aspect of the series. You're in a period where you can't carry a sword. You're already in a peaceful period. So yeah, read the manga in order to like understand it. I really don't even recommend that you watch the anime because there's just so many dull points to it. It's a fucking filler fest, filler after filler, just to make the show longer. And they twisted a lot of things around, and they watered down the story of some of these characters like Sanosuke Sagara. They watered down his story a lot. Yahiko had his story manipulated a little bit. I think the first part of the show was twisted around too, like with the two guys that were trying to take over Kairu's dojo. That shit got taken out too. Like they changed a lot of character mystiques around and a lot of character personalities within the series for some reason, and I still don't understand why they did that. What was I gonna say? Fucking police siren going off. But yeah, read the manga. If you really want to see more bloodshed and you want to see more action, I recommend that you watch the OVAs, Trust and Betrayal. I highly recommend that you watch those OVAs because that right there, it will change up your whole viewpoint around Kenshin. Yeah, I mean, because Rurouni Kenshin, like I said, it's already a fully developed character. In order to understand why this character is such a faggot, you would have to go back and watch Trust and Betrayal, because Trust and Betrayal, it seems like by Tosai the Manslayer is a different person. I understand why he has a conflict within his psyche now, why he's kind of struggling to keep one personality instead of bringing back the old personality. You really have to watch Trust and Betrayal because Kenshin is on some boss ass shit up in this movie. Like, the amount of bloodshed and gore that I've seen in this movie totally outweighs any other anime samurai movie that I've ever seen before. From the beginning, you see this guy's like the people or the caretakers or his adopted family, like the family that adopted him. You see them getting slaughtered by a band of like bandits, like it's like a fucking bloodbath. You see people getting garroted and impaled, getting their necks and shit slashed up. Seeing people get slashed in the back and getting the sword driven up their head. Like, it's a fucking bloodbath. You know, the Bakumatsu period, it was a bloodbath. Like, for real. Like, it was just an era that was really gritty. That's what I'm interested into. Show me the gritty shit. Don't show me that fucking happy-go-lucky shit, man. I don't want to see a happy-go-lucky samurai. Show me the shit that has him tormented. This guy watches his family, his adopted family, get slain right in front of his eyes. You can't tell me that that's not an interesting character to watch right there. A character that's already going through torment at the beginning of the fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? And then to find out that that wasn't his real family, and you still don't know what the guy's real name is, even though he tells his master what his name is, which is Shinta, I think. That's not his real name. That's a name that was given to him by his adopted family. He doesn't even know, like, we don't even know about his real parents and where he came from. That's how this character is interesting to me, because he's already struggled. He's already gone through hardships at a young age. That's how they should have showed it. That's how they should have wrapped the whole series in its entirety. Combine both of those motherfuckers together, and then we're interested in Rurouni Kenshin, why he's so soft and why he doesn't want to kill. I would be interested in that character. That's why I'm interested in the series now. I'm actually still watching Trust and Betrayal, and I'm going to continue to watch the anime. So maybe, you know, I can be interested and be like, okay, that's the guy that's, you know, going around cutting and offing everybody and just bodying dudes, and now he's going to a guy that doesn't want to kill stuff before. You know, and another interesting thing about this whole anime OVA is the OVA is like Kenshin is such a fucking scary character to me. Like, for real, like, I've never actually seen a character that's so fucking scary, especially a main character that's supposed to be a hero of the anime. The way this guy goes about killing people, man, it's so fucking malicious, and the intention in his eyes, like, he has no fucking emotion. It's like watching Michael Myers carry a samurai sword around. You know, it's like Michael Myers up in a kimono, man, for real, because he just has this serious ass look in his eyes, like he's gonna fuck you up, like, for real. And that's what I like about him. He's by Tosai, the manslayer. He has no heart, but his reasons are just, you know. And the cold thing about this character is how he talks. Like, for real, he talks like he has no emotion, like he feels nothing, like his heart is numb. He's seen so much bloodshed that he cares for nothing but peace. But in order to bring about peace, he says to himself, he says, to usher in a new age of peace, the bloodshed and on my head, like he says something up in the OVA. He has said, the blood on my hands and on my sword will usher in an age of new peace. And the first victim he kills him so graphically, like, for real. Like, this guy, you have a guy who has a wife to go back to, and he's fighting for the honor just to go back to his wife. And like, it shows this guy, he's on the ground, he's thinking of her, and all of a sudden Kenshin comes behind him and just offs him, like, just cut that boy right down his throat, man. Like, and that's supposed to be the protagonist of the series? Oh my fucking god, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I mean, in a good way, though. You gotta be fucking kidding me in a good way, because that's a good thing. That's something that you're not used to. A guy doing all this brutal murdering. You know, he's an assassin. You know, that's what I'm saying. That's what he does. That's what we want to see. Show me the fucking Hitokiri. Show me the guy that wants to use the sword as an instrument of destruction to bring about paradise. Don't show me a guy that's interested of just punishing his victims to bring about paradise. I want to see the Hitokiri. Show me the full story. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that cripples the series, especially the anime. Like Kaoru for one, she's an anchor weight. She's a fucking anchor weight character. I didn't like her. She just annoys me. You know what I'm saying? She already displays that she's the love interest of Kenshin. She's already interested in the guy. You know, she loves him, but she's always willing to get in the way to stop this guy from becoming Bato's side. Really? Really, just gonna use her as a plot device just so she can be a love interest, and she's basically the person that stops him from becoming the Bato side. And another thing that I hated was how Sanosuke Sagara's story got watered down up in the anime because it was so graphic. Like he comes from a clan that served the people, who promised the people that there were going to be no taxes. I think like there weren't going to be taxes, and come to find out, the government deceives him on this. The government not only lied to the people, but they also lied to them. And when the villagers started to come onto the government pointed it at Sanosuke Sagara's group, which I think was the Hakimachi. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Hakimachi. Pointed the blame at them, and Sanosuke had to basically watch his whole clan get slayed at a young age. Now that's what I'm talking about. Like Sanosuke and Kenshin, they both going through some shit that like just fucks their world up. You know, it just fucks with the character. You can tell that they have a tormented past because in the manga, Sanosuke watches firsthand, watches his master get decapitated and his head gets put on a platter. That's graphic. That's brutal. That's some brutal shit. That's something I give the mangaka for doing, just making it real graphic and brutal. Something that the anime fails at doing. The anime shows this guy's master is and like his clan gets offed off, but they get shot at or whatever, and they don't even show no blood or anything. They show him falling off the cliff like, master, get the fuck out of here. Show me the real deal shit. That's all I have to say about Kenshin, man. Like I'm gonna be judging the openings too, and the openings and endings and the OSTs, but I highly recommend that you read the manga and watch Trust and Betrayal to understand the concepts of the characters. Highly recommend you. I haven't seen the series in its entirety. I only read like over 25 chapters, but I'm interested in the manga more than I am the anime because the anime is just full of fillers. Now to get on to Yu Hakusho. Now I don't know what to say about Yu Hakusho, man. There's so much that you can say about it because it has no limits. You know, if you're based off of those different genres like action, martial arts, Buddhist mythology, the limits are endless. Like the possibilities are endless, man. It's limitless to what its potential is. It's so down to earth at the beginning of the series. A boy basically dies. He's 14 years old. He's already a pissed off delinquent. He has nothing to live for. You know, he's an outcast. He's ostracized from society. Nobody likes him but one person, which is Keiko, which is like a love interest. You know, it's not a strong love interest, but you can sense that the chemistry is there between those two. He's a thug. You know what I'm saying? Yusuke, the first time I seen him, that was the first time I've actually seen a high school degenerate thug, you know, with the gel back hair or whatever. He's rebel. You see, he has a green jumpsuit on, boy. You know, he's supposed to have like the navy blue color, but his is green. And he's pretty much already an ostracized character that's going through some shit. You know, he's ready to get a little more character development to see how he's gonna surpass that stage. Something that Kenshin lacks. He lacks that he's already a developed character. Well, Yusuke is a character that is somebody who's ready to get developed, something that we're more interested into. I want to see that. Give me that. And he basically dies at the beginning of the series. And not only does he, you know, he die, he has more tasks that he has to do, you know. He has to struggle with the fact that he might not get his body back. He has a spirit beast egg, which he has to go around doing good deeds for other characters like Kuwabara and Keiko. And that's another thing that I like about it. Like me and Otaku Assemble, we stated this earlier, like up in a Skype call. Those are three characters that are already in the process of getting development right there. At the beginning of the series, that's where it takes off of character development. You already see what conflicts these characters have to go through. Like Kuwabara, he struggles up in school, especially with this crooked ass teacher named Iwamoto. I think his name was Iwamoto, or I forgot the other one with the long ass teeth. But he already struggles to help his friends out. Like his friends are in jeopardy of losing their jobs and shit because they can't make a good grade. And he and Kuwabara basically has to make a good grade for him. He has to study, which is something he isn't like into. You know, he's a delinquent just like Yusuke. He's like Yusuke's counterpart. That's what who he is. You know, he doesn't study or anything. And Keiko, she struggles with the fact that she has to show like these emotions towards Yusuke that she's never shown before. She has to kiss Yusuke at the beginning of the fucking series. You can't tell me that that's not good character development right there. That that's not gonna segue a good series. I mean, it just does so much. You know, it just opens in so much right there. You know. And another thing that I like about it, the progression of each character, like Yusuke, Hiei, Kuwabara, and the Kurama, those are all low level characters. They're all at a point to where they're not even worth like a big fight from a boss like Toguro or Sensui. They're so fucking low level because Sensui, he's on the level of a S class demon, and Toguro, he's on the level of a B class demon. Like Hiei and Karamba, like when they first appeared, they're nothing but petulant demons that they only steal shit, and I think they're at C level or D level. That's pretty low, and they're not even worth flicking a fucking finger at. You know, they're very low characters, and especially Yusuke. He's a human who has no respect from authority at all. You know what I'm saying? He has no respect. His mother is a drunk and she doesn't care about him. He's never had a father figure or anything. That's another thing. He's never had a father figure. But later on in the Three Kings saga, you see Yusuke, Hiei, and Kurama, they get respect from these high class demons. And not only do they get respect, like Yusuke gets respect, but he also finds a father up in Rising, which nobody else, like everybody else fails to mention that. He doesn't know his father, but he knows that a person down his bloodline, like what would be like his great great grandfather, he finds a father up in this guy, and he calls him father and pops and stuff like that. That's an interesting concept. And not only does he gain respect from humans on the world, like not Hiei, but Kuwabara and Kuwabara's sister, and some of those other characters like Genkai, he gains respect from them. From the human world, he has respect from the spirit realm, which is Botan, Prince Koema, who is the prince, and King Emma. He has respect from them, but he also has respect from the demon world. He gets respect from Rising's comrades, like all the people that Rising's fought with. Yomi respects him. They see him as a threat. Some of the demons up in demon world, when they were having that tournament, they were cheering for Yusuke when he was fighting off against Yomi. That's some deep shit right there. That's something that's that goes by unrecognized for some reason. How far those characters have come. Yusuke and Hiei and Kurama, they become S-class demons. And Yusuke finds a father figure. You can't tell me that's not good character development. You can't. I mean, the way shit is just segue. Some people say that the Three Kings saga was rushed, but I say the transitioning was smooth for each character, especially in that allotted time period of what they did with the episodes. You know, each character has a short episode, but everything is explained so neatly and so nice. And one of my favorite characters within the series would have to be Hiei because of all the shit that he's gone through. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he was like a low level petulant character who only like went around stealing shit. You know, he just wanted to become a character that just wanted power. You know, he's like a bandit. But you know, you go around, you go to see how far this character has come. Like especially up in the dark tournament, what he really can do besides the Dragon Eye. The Dragon of the Darkness Flame, all his different techniques, mastering that technique alone. That technique alone is considered to be one of the strongest techniques up in Demon World because of the how much power you have to have and how much the ability to control such a strong creature, the Dragon of the Darkness Flame, which is like a character found from the lowly depths of the Demon World. Whose flames will consume anything in its path, even the wielder. Anything that it touches, it gets consumed. Nobody else has been able to withstand that. The first character that he offs with the technique, Shiru, who I thought was gonna like do something. You didn't like Shiru was talking so much shit at the beginning, like of the Dark Tournament. You know, he was going around lighting cups on fire and watching them burst and shit. And this nigga didn't do nothing but just power up, and he ate awesome in a matter of seconds. Like he just off the dude, turns him into a dookie smudge. That's some powerful shit right there. You know, that raises question of his allegiance to the group. You know, he's always wanted to fight Yusuke again since his first match to him. He's always wanted to fight him again, you know, and pretty much destroy him. And now that he has that weapon within his arsenal, the Dragon of the Darkness Flame, oh my god. But, you know, like, there are cons about it. You know, he can't control it and shit. It's a painful maneuver to it, burns him and shit. But later on in the series, he goes to control it, and he also masters other techniques, like Fist of the Mortal Flame. You know, he masters that technique. And he also, I think he becomes the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. You know what I'm saying? And the stage of Three Kings, his story was so interesting to me, and it really displays why he doesn't want to tell Yukina that he's her brother, why he really didn't do that. Because that's deep right there. Like for a series to focus on a side character like that, you know, that's really deep. I haven't seen this up in like shit like DBZ. I had to bring it up. I really don't see that kind of character development within other characters. To see that this guy was promised, like he had to make a promise before he got his Dragon Eye that he would not tell his sister that he was her brother, you know. And to see the hardship that he had to go through, how he was just an outcast just because his mother gave birth to him up in the Ice Apparition Village, and just to see that they couldn't have males up in their village because they would inevitably become the child of the flame and pretty much obliterate the whole village. And to see that this guy actually remembers from being a baby of how much they hated him, and how he just said that I knew that I just wanted to kill them. I knew I would come back and kill them. That's a lot. They had to wrap the dude in bandages because his body would not stop igniting in the flames. You know, and he gets thrown out the roof, whatever, you know, like just because of his birth for nothing. And he has to deal with the fact that nobody wants to be around him because of his destructive nature and how he just likes to kill shit. And that character just grows so much. Like, you just see so much growth up in him, you know. And actually how he shows compassion towards Yusuke at the end of the series. Like when Yusuke gets killed by, or when he supposedly gets killed by Sensui, after Sensui just puts his hand up in that boy like craw. And then like when Sensui's like, trial of humanity, defense rest. I think he said something along the lines of that. You got the epic song playing, I forget what it's called. You have an epic OST playing, and you have everybody pissed off with their powers to the max. You have Hiei, level goes all the way up from B class to S class. You have Kurama, level goes all the way up from B class to S class. And then you have Kuwabara, who's supposed to be he's not supposed to be a significant character at the series at all. His spirit sword doesn't really do that much. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Kuwabara goes through a lot too. Like his characters, his development is great too, because not only does that spirit sword cut down demons, but he's also like the main key of cutting down the Kakai barrier, which is a barrier that locks the human world away from the demon realm. All those characters have like significant plot structure. You know, they're significant to the plot and the story. The development is unique. Like everybody holds a key to something, you know. And who would expect that those three characters like Yusuke, Kurama, and Hiei would get respect from the highest apparitions up in Demon World? It gets no better than that. And another thing that I like about Yu Hakusho are the openings. Like each opening has a significant thing, and the endings also have a significant thing too, because it shows the relationship of the characters. Like on the ending theme one, on the ending opening one. I mean, why am I saying the ending opening one? But ending one is so unique to me because nobody mentions it, but it shows the developments of the characters slightly and the relationships of these characters. When it shows them sitting on this little, like the little fire escape or whatever, like when it shows Yusuke up in the front, you know, and it shows Kuwabara in the back, that shows that those characters haven't become close yet. Like they haven't like like they haven't gotten camaraderie yet. You know, it shows Yusuke in the front, like, you know, it's like suddenly I think of things I can't complete. Now it's time to, you know, and then it shows Kuwabara in the back. Can you see the distance between those characters? Like, they don't like each other. Like, Yusuke's like further away from Kuwabara, and Kuwabara's up in the back. They don't like each other. And when it's showing Karama and Hiei, it's showing Karama standing up in the front, and it's showing Hiei sitting down on some steps. They're distant. They really haven't like shown that they fully trust each other yet. Like, they're conflicting with other shit. Like, Hiei has his own thing where he wants to find his sister and, you know, and I guess unite with her. Karama is struggling with some shit dealing with his mother. He really doesn't want to be in anything like involved with demons or protecting the world. He just loves his mother. And you have Yusuke, he's just protecting the spirit world, and Kuwabara, who is just wanting to beat Yusuke's ass, basically. He just rivals Yusuke. You guys don't see that? Something is fucking wrong with you. Go back and watch that ending, and I'm telling you, you will notice how much growth these characters have, because in each ending, it seems like they get closer and closer. I think the final ending is when they show like all of them walking together or whatever, and they got that song playing. In a broken mirror, I can see your reflection. Like, you see all of them walking side by side, man. That's what I'm talking about right there. And another one, Sayonara Bye Bye, where they have Linda Young singing whatever. You really see how close those characters are too. Like, when you see the little picture at the end, like when they show like Yusuke doing the spirit gun, and you see everybody up in the picture, Kuwabara, Karama, and I think Keiko and Botan. I think, yeah, Botan, yeah. You see all those characters up in the picture. That's development too. Like, you see that in the endings. The endings are deep. Rurouni Kenshin, it has a deep ending too. I like the ending because it shows how fast and how skillful he is. You know, Batosai has always been a character that's unmatched up in speed, and he's pretty much a witty character who has the ability to choreograph somebody's attacks before they even attack them. You know, he can decipher what moves they're gonna make. You can see that too. You know, and that ending, the first ending, that's the only ending that I've seen now. I could be wrong on the endings, but that ending, it just doesn't, like, it doesn't compare to Yu Yu Hakusho. And sirens are going off somewhere. But yeah. So in terms of the characters themselves, I had to say I had to give it to Yu Yu Hakusho. But in terms of story, I would have to give it to Rurouni Kenshin up in its entirety, which is Trust and Betrayals and Rurouni Kenshin, because of all the shit that he goes through. You know, it's way farther greater than what the shit that Yusuke goes through. You know, so story wise, I give it to Rurouni Kenshin. Character wise, I would have to give it to Yu Yu Hakusho. You know, and anime wise, I would have to give it to Yu Yu Hakusho too. I guess I can go ahead and rate artwork. I'll have to rate the artwork to Rurouni Kenshin up in the manga. But in the anime, Yu Yu Hakusho kills it, because the anime gets greater and greater and greater, all the way to the Three Kings saga. Now for the villains, I would also have to say Yu Yu Hakusho delivers, because it's given us something that we've never seen before too. Like, these villains, like, you mainly see a stereotypical villain who has a swelled up avarice for power, which it kind of seems like that's what Toguro, like, well, Togashi was going for that for Toguro, but you really can see that there's a deeper meaning to that. Like, when each like episode unfolds, you see that Toguro is up to something else. You know, this guy has gone from being a human, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that he was a human until later on in the series, and that he was actually acquainted with Genkai. He was Genkai's sidekick, or Genkai was his main sidekick or whatever, you know? You see this guy go from being a human to watching his whole dojo get slain by a demon. And he'd always talked to Genkai about power, you know, power absolute, how you're not going to have power forever because of the human body to age. He really didn't want to come to acceptance of that, you know. So after seeing his clan, or I mean not his clan, but his dojo of students get slain, that pretty much just made him just go ahead and just say, fuck it, you know, if in order for me to kill this fucking enemy, I'm just going to become the fucking enemy, which is a demon. He becomes a demon. He pretty much gives up his humanity to become a demon. You know, there's just so much to that character. that is explained. It's like each episode peels off a layer of what this guy is up to, and it's also interesting how his group came together because anime series, they just have a group of villains who just want to be bad just to be bad. And the way his group of people, his representatives of Team Taguro, we and Karasu, how they came to be on his team. This guy pretty much beat the asses of those characters just so they could join sides with him. He said it, like he just flat said it. If you don't join with me, I will kill you. But if you want to keep your ambitions up and if you really hope to kill me, why don't you train? You can train behind me as much as you want, but until you're up to that level, you're gonna have to be on my fucking team, or else I will destroy you. It goes that deep. Even the side characters on the girls' team have a little character development. Now that's deep. Like two lackeys, like Bui and Karasu have character development. You know what I'm saying? That's deep right there, man. That's deep. You can't get no deeper than that. And then you have Sentry on the other hand, another character that I wasn't really used to. A character that just wasn't evil for the sake of being evil, who just wanted control over the human world, who just wanted to ravage the earth. This guy, he went from being a spirit detective and offering people for Koenma. And Uber Hikari brought this up in a Skype call. This kind of makes you question Koenma's moral ethics, what he's really up to, because since we finds out firsthand, he goes to this little faction of humans, like humans, and he sees what they're up to, using demons as instruments of pleasure, torturing demons, fucking cutting their bodies in half and doing all kind of twisted shit that you would basically see a demon doing to a human, just to see that side of things, just to see that everything is like black and white, everything isn't all sunshine and rainbows, so I'm just gonna kill a demon and bring peace to the world. You actually see humans torturing demons for pleasure. That's some fucked up shit. That's some really fucked up shit, and that pretty much just changes the way we think about shit. Changes the way we think about life, basically. What do we classify as good and evil? Just because a demon is a demon, that automatically classifies him as an evil being. Just because a human is a human, that classifies them as a good person? No. I mean, since we basically sees the evil side of humans, and he wants to go out there and wreak havoc and bring equality to both sides, but he's gonna pay the fucking the humans back for what the shit that they did, and he's basically going on just terrorizing the fucking earth, and trying to open the door to the demon world. Yeah, so it just raises a lot of questions. I mean, that's a lot of complex shit, and the OSTs, they're really amazing. Like, they have the generic OSTs. Like, I think Battle Time is one of my least favorites, but the theme that they play when Yusuke gets killed is just so fucking deep. And it's another one, the sad theme that says dun 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 dun. You ain't gonna feel that. You ain't gonna feel Rurouni Kenshin compared to that shit. I mean, you feel that with Yu Hakusho. Rurouni Kenshin, it has like some generic OSTs. I know Kenshin has his little theme wherever he comes in. It kind of sounds like a 80s cartoon or something. Like I'm watching some kind of Fox Kids cartoon. Like it's like dun, 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 dun. But yeah, this video was a little off the cuff and it's a little rushed because this is the deadline. But in all like fairness, I just have to give it to not Rurouni Kenshin. I'll give it to Rurouni Kenshin in terms of story, but in terms of just a full out great anime, I would have to give it to Yu Hakusho because it just delivers on Buddhist mythology. The character concepts are interesting, good character development. Side villains are interesting, like Taguro and his whole squad. That's interesting. This guy, he went into limbo because of the guilt that he felt, and he also he never showed a sense of camaraderie within his brother or any other groups, but you can kind of feel that sense of camaraderie with Yusuke. It's like that's what he wanted. He wanted Yusuke to defeat him, and see the evil side of things. Why he became where he became, who he became. You can kind of sense that he kind of had a love for Yusuke, especially the fight that they got into. But yeah, that's it for this debate right here. You know what I'm saying? Yusuke, Kurama, Kuwabara, Hiei just totally out Trump I can't even think of their names right now. The cast of Rurouni Kenshin. But this is your boy Esper Review. I will catch you guys later for another debate on Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop. Peace.